Remarkably, though, Housing ACT did not undertake a probity risk assessment. It didn't even develop a probity plan or engage an independent probity advisor or auditor. Now, we did put a request in to the Minister, the Housing Minister, Yvette Berry, to get her response to this. However, we were told that she was not available to talk to us on this. The Opposition Leader, Leanne Castley, is, though. She's with me now. Good morning to you, Leanne Castley.
Good morning, Ross.
So what's your main takeaway from this Auditor-General report?
Oh, I was shocked. I think you're right. The word scathing is appropriate. To know that this has been a long-term program of work, a lot of money, $867 million it's no drop in the ocean. It's a massive amount to Canberra's budget. And to find that proper processes weren't followed, board wasn't consulted. The valuations are the thing that got me. Some houses got 3 valuations, some got 1. None of this process seems to have gone well. I'm a bit shocked too also that the Minister is unable to talk about this. This is, as I say, a lot of money.
Well, yes, they're saying they're going to read over the report, and then once that's done and once they've considered the findings and recommendations, they'll provide a response in accordance with Assembly procedure. I don't know whether that's cuts it, though, when there are obviously people listening and who have been caught up in this and are probably wondering, why the heck it's been so poorly run for so long. The other thing that Auditor-General found is that the transparency and integrity of the decision-making process was compromised by a lack of clear and complete record. So there seems to be quite a few flaws in this whole process.
There does. And what's concerning me, Ross, is, again, another massive program for Canberra. This is housing. People desperately need this. We know that. There was even an article this morning where a lady was saying she's living in a home that smells of mould and is finding it difficult to get any repairs to her home. The government can't seem to organise that for her. And now this program of works, poor consultation, poor record management, it's something that's across the board when we're talking about large financial projects that this government undertakes. We saw it with DHR, we saw it with MyWay, and it begs the question, when will the Labor government get themselves organised when they're spending taxpayer money?
On your reading of this report, who are the people that have I mean, if they have indeed suffered, but who have, fallen through the cracks because of the shortcomings in the way Housing ACT has administered this program?
Well, it's always the people at the end of the line, Ross, that need the homes, that need the additional homes that the government promised. So I've said it many times, we go to elections trusting those policy promises. I call them promises because that's what they are. We believe them. And at the end of the day, an 8-year program of work has failed ACT housing people.
We will continue to request the Minister, and hopefully she will be available at some stage to come on and talk to us. The other story which is making news today, Leanne Castley, is that the DPP here in the ACT has told the government that come the middle of this year, they're going to walk away from a lot of the investigations that they would normally do because they have a lack of resources. Now, they said that Victoria Engel apparently contacted Chief Minister Andrew Barr in February and alerted him to this problem. She apparently said that there was no reply, but now they've contacted a lot of the departments here in the ACT, including the Department of the Environment and a few others, saying we can no longer look after your problems and concerns and issues because we don't have the resources to do so. Does this worry you?
Oh, 100%. It worries me when a department warns the government they're running out of money, they're not adequately funded as the government should fund them, and little to no response and no increase in funding has now forced them to reduce the scope of work that they have been doing for Canberrans, keeping Canberrans safe. It's just not a priority for the government. They've clearly run out of money and they're making cuts across the board. This is a very worrying article. In fairness,
it seems that the DPP here in the ACT will now be operating under similar lines as to what and doing investigations similar to what they do in other states. Maybe the DPP was biting off more than they could chew here before anyway, compared to other states.
And what is the government going to do about that shortfall? Where do the other states pick up that slack? The government is certainly on the line here to make sure that those areas that the DPP are having to cut back on don't fall through the cracks. I think that's, yes, of course, it's great that they will be able to continue their work, and they do great work. This is not a blight on the DPP in any way. They're doing the best that they can with the limited resources they've got. And so the government needs to come out today and explain to Canberrans where that shortfall will now be taken care of.
We will be talking to the Attorney-General, Tara Cheyne, later on in the show, so hopefully we'll get some answers in that regard as well. One other issue, later this morning, Independent Senator David Pocock, I think Thomas Emerson's going to be there as well, and a couple of businesses are going to launch a campaign to try and get federal and ACT government support for businesses that are being hit by the light rail development around Civic. Do you support this, Leanne Castley? Do you believe that those businesses should be given some sort of financial support?
I absolutely believe that the businesses need to be looked at and considered how the government can financially help them. So we launched a campaign months and months ago, or maybe 2 months ago, when this all came about, and those businesses said back then that they believed they were being treated with contempt by the ACT government, with lack of consultation and lack of planning. Imagine owning a business, Ross, and being told that it could be 2 or 3 years of disruption. One of those businesses said that people would order takeout, but because they couldn't get a park to pick it up, they would ring and say, no, you'll have to cancel my order. And this is after the food was cooked. So we know that the impact is real to these businesses in the city. But what we also found out when they built the Gungahlin Light Rail, that those businesses didn't get compensation, and they just closed their doors. James Milligan worked hard on that back in the day, and I'm hopeful for these businesses, but the government have already said they will not be financially.
And Chris Steele has said, I think he even said it on this program, that many of these businesses will benefit from the walk-through traffic, foot traffic of the construction industry that are working in that area. I mean, that makes sense, doesn't it?
Not when it's 7 o'clock at night and the construction workers have gone home, and people who would ordinarily go out for dinner in the city can't get there because, and it's not just meals, Ross, there's physiotherapy. You try and walk on a walker or in a wheelchair from a very long distance to get to see a physiotherapist with these roads closed and the car parks closed for the length of time that they are. It's worrying on all levels, from the business perspective, but also from customers who want to frequent their local shops.
Leanne Castley, good to talk with you this morning. Thank you.